2011 LG 시네마 3D 업앤다운 매치 8강행을 확정지은 8명의 코디의 리거들과 16강 진출에 실패한 16명의 코디에스 리거들. 그들은 공석인 16개의 코디에스 자리를 노리며 다시 한번 승부의 꽃을 피운다. 코디에스로 승격하느냐, 코디에로 강등되느냐, GSL 리거들의 운명을 결정지을 업앤다운 매치. 그 피해갈 수 없는 마지막 전투가 지금 시작됩니다.
Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL Up and Down matches. I'm Tasis, with me is Artosis, and I gotta say, this week's Up and Down matches are pretty damn scary. We got some people who are champions of previous seasons.
Yeah.
Got a lot of new up-and-coming blood, a lot of upsets from Code S. Some of these guys are actually here for some reason. So it's a pretty exciting day.
It is indeed tasteless. Every single group is completely deadly, especially the groups of Huck and Jinro.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that everyone at home is a little bit scared about that.
I know a lot of our foreign viewers, in other words, non-Korean viewers, tuning in right now, obviously probably watching the stream, are going to be really here to watch Liquid Jinro's game. Liquid Jinro from the site teamliquid.net. He's a very popular figure, not just in Korea, outside of Korea, but in Korea as well. He's a very talented player, competitive StarCraft 1 player, not really pro gamer level in the foreign scene. Now turned into one of the best non-Korean StarCraft players. Actually, even if you include Koreans, one of the best.
He's got 2 GSL top 4s.
Yeah, as well as an international title. Outside Korea. So, look, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting series to see him. Hopefully, he gets back into Code S. He was very disappointed with his loss, as we saw, in our Code S section of the tournament. Now, our first group here today, it's going to be Keen against Trickster, a.k.a. Sokisu. And then the person they're going to have to face off if they lose, whoever loses that, is going to be San. Let's go ahead and throw up the actual up and down match format to make that a little bit more clear for you, Artosis. Take it away.
All right. Well, basically, we're going to have the guy who came from Code A against the guy who got 3rd in Code S. They're going to play. The loser goes and plays the guy who got 4th in Code S. Loser that goes to Code A. Everyone else to Code S. So, the poor person only gets one shot. That's going to be hard, man. For instance, San, his PvP, that's his weak matchup. So he's going to be hoping for Keen to lose to Trickster.
Yeah.
But even so, Keen got top 4 in Code A, so he's going to be a very scary player to go up against.
Now on to today's groups. We're going to have in Group A, MVP Keen against 3rd place in the Code S in his group, TSL Trickster, a.k.a. Sokisu. 4th place, oddly enough, is San. I think one of the best Protoss out there. Very good at Protoss versus Terran. Protoss versus Protoss, probably his weakest. In Group B, we're going to have Zenex Koka from Code A duking it out against Liquid Jinro. One of our only non-Korean players here in the GSL.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, similar to Group A, the loser of Zenex Koka against Liquid Jinro goes down to face off against OGS Zinio. Zinio is a very scary Zerg player.
He certainly is. He's a great player. He did not play greatly in this season of Code S. Had kind of an off day, but one off day, man, and that's it. You're in the up and down matches against such beasts as Jinro and Koka.
Yeah, it's tough, It's why it's so important when you're in Code S to get out of your group. Even if you don't win, obviously you'd like to win, but even if you don't, you at least you get another shot. You make a few mistakes in Code S, and then 1 or 2 more mistakes in Code A, or rather in the up and down matches, then you're in Code A.
And then you get 1 best of 3 or in Code B.
Yeah.
And then in Code B, you either keep your cool or you quit and go to the Army.
Eventually we just get so far down the alphabet, we got to start using,
Code T.
We got to use like symbols and stuff.
Just beheads you on the ladder.
We got to put them in the pound sign group or whatever it is, Code question mark. Hopefully don't get that low down there. Of course, Code B, a lot of people don't even know that Code B exists, but it actually does. It's not a joke when our
it's like the top 200 on the Korean ladder or something like that.
I believe that's correct. So,
I don't keep track of it.
That is, we don't even televise those.
No.
We don't have any VODs of those in English. So if you get knocked out of Code A, you're kind of off the map in Korean esports. You're struggling to get back in there. You're like those guys trying to get their Courage license from StarCraft 1. So You really got a lot of pressure on you in Code A.
It's actually even more grueling than in StarCraft 1, I think. Every month, 8+ people would qualify through Courage. In this, it's like every couple months. Well, I guess it's somewhat similar in the amounts. Never mind.
I was going to let you just kind of wade through that one and move on, but no, I mean, it's point being it's sort of tough.
DTs do 45 damage in this game, Tasteless. It's much harder.
Let's take a look at our players now. Here is MVP Keen, quite a record. And when you look at who he's lost to, I mean, there's really no shame losing MVP.
No, there is none whatsoever, Tasteless. He is an amazing player. MVP, of course, got second in Code A to Bomber, and thus got to pick his group.
I want to clarify just real quick. There's MVP, the player, who's a member of the Team IM. You can see that at the bottom right. MVP Keen, we have a shot of here at the top left. That is MVP being used as a clan ID. So essentially, think of it as Keen losing to a player named MVP. In fact, we might just want to call him Keen during the cast so this doesn't get confusing, because MVP, the player, managed to get through Code A as well and is here too. So just don't be confused.
Keen's songs are running through my head, Tasteless. I feel like it's 2002 all over again.
Now we're on to TSL Trickster, a.k.a. Soki Sue.
Yeah, and he's done really well in the GSL. You know, he's had a lot of deep finishes, and it really looked like he was going to get out of his group until he decided to do maybe one of the deepest, coolest PvP builds ever, rushing to Warp Prism off of 4 Warp Gates, flying it into someone's Stalkers, I believe it was Any Pros, and then leaving the game immediately thereafter.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. One thing about this guy, he always seems to want to play ahead of the metagame, not deep within it. He's always trying to kind of outsmart his opponent. And on to another interesting Protoss, San. San, of course, Korean for Mountain here. He is a guy who is very scary. I think most so Protoss versus Terran, then Protoss versus Zerg.
Yeah.
Then Protoss is a bit of a ways off compared to the other matchups that I think is so good.
Quite true. Well, here they are, our first two players to go at it. Keen against Trickster. You know, this group, it's scary, man. I feel like all three of these players need to be in Code S. But only 2 can make it in. Will it be these 2?
We're going to find out. Here's our map lineup. Crevasse, Selnaga Caverns, and Metalopolis.
Good map lineup.
And it's time. So let's get this Terran versus Protoss on. We have Keen against Trickster. It's going to be pretty sick head-to-head here at the GSL. One of these guys is going to be able to grab that Code A amulet, and the other one might be at risk of having to grab that Code A sea urchin. Let's see who that's going to be. Head-to-head, casted by Tasteless and Artosis. Tastosis, the casting Archon here at the GSL. Okay, our first game of the Up and Down matches. Thank you again for joining us. Down here in the bottom left, a member of the Team MVP, MVP King. And now to a player, you and I have both casted a lot of Artosis.
Yeah.
His name in Korean, his actual name is Soki Sue, but he changed his name in Korean to say Sagi Sue, which is the word for a trickster, essentially. So we generally refer to him as Soki Sue. Thank you, LG, G-Skill, and Intel for sponsoring this event.
Great sponsors all. A lot of different pacing on the Up and Down matches, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Almost caught you, but you're good, you're nimble, you're quick. You jumped over the candlestick, and you are fine.
And I took Jack's ladder points.
That is so funny. Looks like Trickster is going to be going for a 15 or 16 Nexus.
Now, this is a map where you can go up for quick expansions and you're safe. One of the other interesting factors here is that there are these rocks near your main entrance. So, opposing players can do things like charge up Void Rays on those, or tear them down with Marauders, or you can destroy your own if you want to, help with trafficking units out of your base.
They can tag them, put their little spray paint sign on it.
Yeah.
Little probe hand on it. Etches it in with his
probe gangs in here.
Yeah.
So as you can see, Keen scouting his opponent right away, and luckily scouting in the right position. It is a 4-player map. He sees what is going on. He knows it's going to be a fast expand.
And even so, will there really be anything he can do to stop it? I don't think so, man. He's already gone 1 barracks command center, so he's probably going to want to go ahead and just continue with his idea to expand. And, ooh.
Talk to me, Artos.
He's choosing not
I see
to.
it now, too.
Throwing up 2 more
See,
barracks.
he gets his own preview screen, so.
Yeah.
I had to go, ooh, it's quick.
Well, here's the thing. Trickster, if he can figure this out, if he can smell it, if he can lick his finger and put it in the wind and feel this coming, he can crush it. But he needs to figure that out relatively soon. The 2 barracks are a little bit late, so this is a risky build by Keen. For instance, if Trickster goes and makes like 2 cannons, you can actually go cannons with a fast expansion Nexus.
Oh, yeah. And you know, these are StarCraft 2 cannons, not StarCraft 1 cannons.
Yeah, but these are StarCraft 2 Marines, not StarCraft 1 Marines.
Oh, well said, Artos.
Yeah. But still, you know, things like that, if you actually feel an all incoming and you do something like make a few cannons at your choke, you will literally just win the game because of that, because then Terran will be so far behind.
Do you send SCBs with this rush?
Well,
we don't really see this rush.
Yeah, I think he will. I
would assume he would too.
This is kind of like, if he does not kill with this, if he does not brutally maim his opponent with this, he will lose.
Oh! I don't know if that probe got to see the 4th Marine. Oh, here come the SCBs.
Yeah.
They line up like a bunch of kindergartners, but they're much, much, much more dangerous.
Are they in alphabetical order? Let me check. SCV, 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 SCV. Yes, they're in alphabetical order. They're going to be able to have some ice cream after their lunch. They've done well. They're going to put their ducks back in the pond.
Here they come now. Now 3 Stalkers are very good at microing against Marines. Zealot in the front should tank this.
And he's going to want to target down as many SCVs as humanly possible while that Zealot's still alive. He's doing a great job so far, Tastes, but it's time to pull some probes. Absolutely cannot let that bunker finish up.
He needs to kill that other SCV.
And he's doing some really sick micros so far. Look at this. He's still got 4 Stalkers alive. And just as long as he kills that SCV, Tastes.
He got it.
Yeah, he's going to
There's one more SCV. Trickster loops around, takes that SCV, and I believe that actually maybe the end of our Terran player. I mean, unless he has plan B here.
He's definitely not giving up, but I think you're right, Tasteless. I mean, Trickster has shown some amazing stalker micros, some great decision-making. He did not even have Polar Probes. I thought he would for a moment there. But,
no, I was on the same page as you. I would have expected Probes to be pulled.
I think his Zealot micro was just perfect. I would have let the Zealot actually stand there a bit longer and die. He pulled it back and then had enough for that second go. So he's done a great job. Keen's still putting on a lot of pressure, but Trickster adding some more gateways, getting some more stalkers.
You know, here's the issue. He can actually not defend if he keeps attacking with Marines like this. I would have pulled back once I saw the bunker not complete.
Yeah, well, you can't really run away from stalkers either, so I have to take that into consideration.
That's very true.
During this, Keen has gotten up his command center, so he did an okay job, but he's way behind economically speaking because he did bring those SCVs and did not do enough damage. He's at 22 SCVs against 35 probes, and as long as Trickster actually texts correctly here, macros correctly here, he's going to feel basically on top of the world, Tasteless. He might even draw you because he's king of the world.
Wow. Wow. I saw turn into that kid from Rugrats. I'm like, row. Row. That's what he did. SCV taken out. Now, here comes a nice little counterattack. He wants to slip a few more Marines in there and try to take out the probes, ideally. He wants to hinder his opponent's economy as much as possible.
And Trickster does have some units at home. By the way, he is chrono boosting through his +1 armor, getting a Twilight Council as well. And look at that, just runs straight up. What are these Marines doing, Taste? They're going right up to the natural.
They want to get probes. That's the whole point of the strategy here.
This is actually a huge move. Trickster not noticing that his other Stalker's under attack. Wow. Keen has done a great job here. Trickster falling apart a little bit.
Well, you know, when it comes to Stalker against Marine, it's really up to the Protoss to micro and win. The Marines just got to catch up. So hitting into places at once like that can be pretty strong. However, I have to say,